Picture a billionaire. Close your eyes and truly visualize a person with unlimited financial resources. What is the immediate image forced into your mind? Your brain has been hijacked. You imagine a caricature of extreme excess, head-to-toe designer clothing dripping with logos, a diamond-encrusted watch blinding the camera, heavy gold chains, and a convoy of neon-colored supercars. We have been relentlessly brainwashed by a trillion-dollar machine of pop culture and social media to accept a single equation: extreme wealth equals extreme flashiness. We are conditioned to believe that the second you claw your way out of the working class, your undeniable duty is to scream your net worth into the faces of everyone around you. But this is a carefully constructed trap, and the people standing at the top of the food chain are the ones who set it. When you look at the true apex of the global wealth pyramid, the phantom titans who dictate the flow of the world's capital, the algorithms that shape your thoughts and your physical infrastructure, a chilling paradox emerges. The richer they get, the poorer they dress. Welcome to the ultimate psychological warfare of modern capitalism. This is not a fashion trend. It is an encrypted power dynamic where the most dangerous players hide in plain sight. This is the dark reality of the wealth disguise. Act 1. Weaponized boredom and the ego glitch. To understand the sheer arrogance of this phenomenon, dissect the daily uniform of the modern oligarchs. Look at Mark Zuckerberg, a man who controls the psychological diets of billions, possessing a net worth eclipsing the GDP of sovereign nations. Yet, he sits in front of global economic summits wearing what appears to be a washed-out $5 gray t-shirt. Look at Bill Gates, a man whose ruthless decisions shaped the modern technological era, sitting in classified meetings wearing a lifeless V-neck sweater and a Casio diver's watch, a piece of plastic you can buy for $50. Why do the people who could liquidate entire luxury conglomerates in an afternoon actively choose to look like they just rolled out of bed in a forgotten suburb? To find the answer, we have to look at a fundamental glitch in the human ego. Over a century ago, sociologist Thorstein Veblen exposed a dark truth about human nature. He realized the masses do not buy expensive things because they are useful. They buy them as a desperate biological signal. It is a primal scream for social validation called conspicuous consumption, the pathetic act of buying things solely to prove you aren't at the bottom of the food chain. When a newly rich crypto millionaire buys a screaming red Ferrari or a jacket suffocating in Gucci logos, they are falling right into the system's jaws. They are begging the world for permission to feel important. But the true elite do not ask for permission. They own the system. When your name physically dictates global markets, wearing a flashy designer logo is not a display of power. It is a confession of weakness. To the ultra-rich, a giant logo is a vulgar symptom of new money insecurity. By deliberately wearing unbranded clothes, oligarchs deploy a weaponized form of psychological dominance known as stealth wealth. It is an arrogant, silent message. I am so far above your pathetic social hierarchy that I do not even need to play your game of status. Act 2. The neurological obsession with willpower. But if you think this is just an ego trip, you are blind to the real game. There is a Machiavellian reason for this minimalist disguise, rooted in the ruthless exploitation of human neurology. The human brain has a biological flaw. Psychologists call it decision fatigue. Every time you make a choice, your brain burns through a finite, rapidly depleting reservoir of cognitive energy. Your mind literally exhausts itself, deciding between a blue shirt and a black shirt, leaving you weaker for the decisions that actually matter. Steve Jobs, the notoriously tyrannical founder of Apple, didn't view this as a mild inconvenience. He viewed it as a biological weakness that had to be brutally eradicated. Jobs was not looking for a productivity hack. His mind operated with a cold, relentless genius. He wanted to amputate the useless friction of daily choice to redirect every drop of his cognitive power toward destroying rival industries. In the 1980s, Jobs approached Japanese designer Issey Miyake to forge him a uniform. Miyake engineered a massive stockpile of over 100 identical black mock turtlenecks. Jobs wore them every single day like impenetrable military armor. The elite dress plainly to hoard their mental energy for ruthless decisions that shatter markets. Meanwhile, they actively encourage the middle class to drain its willpower standing in front of a mirror, agonizing over what looks fashionable, keeping them distracted and hopelessly addicted to the consumer cycle. Act 3. The encrypted language of quiet luxury. This is where the illusion shatters completely. Do not let this carefully crafted narrative of modesty fool you. The billionaires are not shopping at discount stores. They have simply evolved into a hyper-exclusive, deeply cynical ecosystem known as quiet luxury. That wrinkled gray t-shirt Zuckerberg wears? It is custom ordered from the ultra-exclusive Italian designer Brunello Cucinelli. Those seemingly boring shirts cost upwards of $400 a piece, spun from the absolute finest hand-combed cashmere on earth. This is not fashion. It is an encrypted, highly classified language. The elite strip their clothing of all recognizable logos because they are actively locking the doors to their world. They do not want the working class to know what they are wearing. They only want to signal to other predators at the absolute top of the food chain. If you step into the boardroom of a massive hedge fund in Manhattan, you will not see flashy belts or hype beast sneakers. You will see an ocean of unbranded $3,000 Loro Piana cashmere sweaters. You will see austere $5,000 coats from the row. You will see men wearing plain brown sweaters made of vicuña wool, a rare animal from the high Andes. Producing a single coat costs tens of thousands of dollars. To the untrained eye, it looks like a thrift store sweater. To the billionaire across the table, it screams absolute dominance. These garments are a biological password. The incredibly precise cut and unnatural softness are instantly recognizable to the initiated and laughably invisible to the ignorant. It is a secret society, hidden in plain sight. The devastating irony? The very billionaires who dress in invisible clothing own the algorithms that ruthlessly bombard you with luxury marketing. They are the drug dealers of modern consumerism, strictly following the oldest rule in the criminal underworld. Never get high on your own supply. They feed the masses the poison of conspicuous consumption while hoarding the antidote of quiet power. Act 4. Weaponized deception and physical survival. There is a sinister application of the wealth disguise used directly against the public. Weaponized deception. Consider the catastrophic collapse of Sam Bankman-Fried and FT. He allegedly defrauded investors of billions while walking into boardrooms wearing wrinkled cargo shorts and untied sneakers. His slob aesthetic was a highly calculated, predatory disguise. In Silicon Valley, dressing like a careless vagrant is viewed as the ultimate indicator of raw, unfiltered genius. He used the broke aesthetic to lower the defenses of the smartest investors on the planet, robbing them blind while they praised his authenticity. It is a cloaking device used by apex predators to disarm their prey. When oligarchs are dragged in front of antitrust committees, their wardrobe is a psychological defense mechanism. You cannot look like a world-devouring tyrant when wearing the exact same hoodie as the college student watching at home. It neutralizes the human instinct to rebel against kings. But there is a final, terrifying truth to the wealth disguise, a truth born entirely out of raw, life-or-death survival. We are living on a highly volatile powder keg. The financial chasm between the working class and the 1% is explosively unstable. Inflation is asphyxiating normal citizens, while corporate profits shatter records. The ultra-wealthy are terrifyingly aware that public resentment is boiling into raw fury. In global megacities, London, Los Angeles, Paris, highly organized, ruthless criminal syndicates are hunting. They deploy trained spotters outside high-end restaurants, scanning wrists for Patek Philippe's and Rolex Daytonas. Wearing a $100,000 watch is no longer a flex. It is a neon tracking beacon for extreme violence. Syndicates execute coordinated blockades and assault occupants at gunpoint for the metal on their wrists. Billionaires calculate the mathematics of survival. Flaunting wealth in public offers zero tangible reward, but invites fatal danger. The broke aesthetic is their urban camouflage. It makes them physically invisible in an active war zone, shielding them from violent syndicates and targeted kidnappings. And just as importantly, it shields them from the guillotine of public outrage and the scrutiny of the taxman. If you look like a depressed tech nerd in a fleece vest, the furious public doesn't demand your wealth be redistributed. You vanish into the crowd, while controlling the entire block. The final vault, while the middle class plunges into inescapable debt, desperately buying fake designer bags just to mimic the illusion of wealth on social media, the actual masters of the universe are spending millions to meticulously engineer an aesthetic that makes them look exactly like the desperate people they rule over. They have cracked the final, darkest code of modern society. The ultimate luxury in a dangerously hostile world is not attention. The ultimate luxury is absolute anonymity. By ruthlessly stripping away the flash, they have executed the most devastating power move in economic history. Because when you truly pull the strings of the entire world, you don't need to wear a heavy golden crown to prove it. You just need the rest of the world to remain entirely blind to the fact that you are wearing one. Subscribe to stay ahead of the game and witness the true architecture of power. Watch that video appearing on your screen right now.